Welcome to the Tecnia TV. I, Rahul Tripathi, Faculty of Management Science, Tecnia Institute of Advanced Studies. Today, I am going to deliver a lecture on cross-culture management, Hofstede study from Management of International Business MBA third semester. So, friends, let us start with the introduction part. Psychologist Dr. Gerd Hofstede published his culture dimensions model at the end of the 1970s, based on a decade of research. Since then, it's become an internationally recognized standard for understanding cultural differences. Hofstede studied people who worked for IBM in more than 50 countries. Initially, he identified four dimensions that could distinguish one culture from another. Later, he added fifth and sixth dimensions. These are power distance index, second is individualism versus collectivism, third, masculinity versus femininity, fourth, uncertainty avoidance index, fifth, long versus short term orientation, and the last one, sixth, that is indulgence versus restraint. So, friends, let us start with the first one, that is the power distance index. In short, it is called PDI. This refers to the degree of inequality that exists and is accepted between people with and without power. A high PDI score indicates that a society accepts an unequal hierarchical distribution of power and that people understand their place in the system. A low PDI score means that power is shared and is widely dispersed. A low PDI score means that power is shared and is widely dispersed, and that society members do not accept situations where power is distributed unequally. So, friends, let us discuss the second one, that is the individualism versus collectivism, that is IDV. This refers to the strength of the ties that people have to others within their community. A high IDV score indicates weak interpersonal connection among those who are not part of a core family. Here, people take less responsibility for others' actions and outcomes. In a collectivist society, however, people are supposed to be loyal to the group to which they belong, and in exchange, the group will defend their interest. The group itself is normally larger, and people take responsibility for another's well-being. So, friend, third one that we are going to discuss is that is masculinity versus femininity, that is MAS. This refers to the distribution of roles between men and women. In masculine societies, the roles of men and women overlap less, and men are expected to behave assertively, demonstrating your success and being strong and fast are seen as a positive characteristic. In feminine societies, however, there is a great deal of overlap between male and female roles, and modesty is perceived as a virtue. Greater importance is placed on good relationships with your direct supervisors or working with people who cooperate well with one another. So, fourth, which we are going to discuss is that is the uncertainty avoidance index, that is UAI. This dimension describes how well people can cope up with anxiety in societies that score highly for uncertainty avoidance. People attempt to make life as predictable and controlled as possible. If they find that they can't control their own lives, they may be tempted to stop trying. These people may refer to Manana or put their fate in the hands of God. People in low UAI scoring countries are more relaxed, open, or inclusive. Bear in mind that avoiding uncertainty is not necessarily the same as avoiding risk. Hofstede argues that you may find people in high scoring countries who are prepared to precisely because Hofstede argues that you may find people in high scoring countries who are prepared to engage in risky behavior precisely because it reduces ambiguities or in order to avoid failure. Fifth, we are going to discuss is long versus short term orientation. This dimension was originally described as pragmatic versus normative, that is PRA. It refers to the time horizon people in a society display. Countries with a long term orientation tend to be pragmatic, modest, and more thrifty. In short term oriented countries, people tend to place more emphasis on principles, consistency, and truth, and are typically religious and nationalistic. So, friends, last that we are going to discuss is that is the indulgence versus restraint, that is IVR. So Hofstede six dimension discovered and described together with Michael Minkov is also relatively new and is therefore accompanied by less data. Countries with a high IVR score allow or encourage relatively free gratification of people's own drives and emotions, such as enjoying life and having fun. In a society with a low IVR score, there is a more emphasis on suppressing gratification and more regulation of people's conduct and behavior, and there are stricter social norms. So, friends, we have discussed these six dimensions in the cross-cultural management that is being termed as Hofstede study. So, Hofstede has given these six dimensions to study the cross-cultural diversity in the different cultures. These dimensions can be used in order to understand the diversity in a particular type of culture. For watching more videos like this, please subscribe Tecnia TV. Thank you.